Greetings to everybody on Joy TV. It is a joy to be here with you and to introduce a new television show, and 1 hour show called Paradise Now, Healing with the Mother. On Vision TV, there is a show called Paradise Now, Dialogues with the Mother. The same mother, the same hostess, but while I'm talking on Vision TV about more general issues about where we are at, where we are going, what are we doing on earth, what is paradise, and all those paradise issues, within the same paradigm of Paradise Now, within the same thinking that paradise is here now and it depends on all of us to make it work for all of us. In the same frame, I will talk to you about healing with the Mother. There's no secret that the acceptance and the understanding of the Divine Feminine has increased over the last maybe 4 decades gradually, and it reached a higher level of acceptance. But there's no secret that there are cultures that hold the Divine Feminine at a high rank of respect, like the Hindu cultures, for instance. Also, that all the old civilizations knew about the Divine Feminine. You'll read about gods and goddesses in the different religions, and the legends about the Greek gods and the Egyptian gods, and anywhere on earth you'll see that the Divine Feminine was there, and it never went anywhere. It's just the way the Earth population entered under the masculine power for a while made people think that everything is born of men, masculine beings, that made, born, or created is only from masculine beings, and the feminine is just a helper. It turns out that it's quite the opposite, that the masculine is supposed to be the helper, and that there is room for divine masculine, and there is room for divine and necessity for the divine feminine. The fact that the mother is involved in birth and nurturing, and that the mother is coming now in all forms, Mother Nature, Mother Earth, now we are talking about Mother God, is just an increase of truth, an increase of understanding, and an increase of knowledge, and an increase of light and life. This is what we need now. See, as soon as people started to accept the existence of Mother God, longevity increased on earth. The more talk about the mother, the longer the life. Because the contact with the source of life, the mother that has been at the origin of birthing every being that created everything there is and everything that will be, once that contact was made between the hearts of people and the mother, while respecting the father and all the other deities, feminine or masculine, some think that there is just one, some think that there are many, but the contact with the mother has put people in touch with the life power, actually. And surprise, surprise, like in the old times when the mother was not denied and people were living hundreds and hundreds of years, to 1,000 or more than that, now it comes back to longevity. Why? Because once you are in touch with the spring of living water, which is the mother, then you have living water. You have the life process sustained by the direct source of life, and of course helped by all the others that have their role. And we'll see during the show on healing with the mother that conditions that were considered incurable actually being treated and cured when the healing at the divine level is considered from the mother connection point of view. While the masculine is also involved, the involvement of the feminine would actually complete the field of healing, the universe of healing, the world of healing, the process of healing would be complete. We no longer deal with the apple that somebody took a bite from, and we don't know those things, and we don't have those substances, and we don't have those powers. We're dealing with the whole fruit that has the possibility to nurture you completely. So if they say that an apple a day keeps the doctor away, you can imagine that the complete apple of knowledge, the complete fruit of life would heal you completely. And you'll understand here why, when you involve the source of life, the source of nurturing, when you involve the primordial being that gave birth to all the deities that have their specific role, everything else will work better in your own healing process, in the healing of society, of the earth, of the world, of the universe. Everything will come back to life. The universe that sunk into darkness and couldn't sustain life. It's hard to find a planet that has life like we have on Earth, or Mother Earth takes care of life. The universe actually realizes that it has to look to the Mother in all dimensions, and to the Mother Earth, and to the Mother Nature, and do something to bring the power of life where it needs to be, because the universe needs to advance. People need to evolve. Society needs to sustain its own evolution. And for that, we better spend money on education and be in good health, and spend on healing to whatever extent. But when we don't have money for life, and we don't have money for education because healing is so expensive and so unsuccessful, that's an issue. What will happen in this show is that we'll show, no pun intended, we will show that healing is possible in all conditions when we work with the source of life. I will bring on the show people who are paralyzed, and I will cure paralysis right here in front of you with the help of a multidisciplinary team: nutrition, nursing, kinetotherapy, doctors that would evaluate the health of the patients. Everything will be done in cooperation in a multidisciplinary team. But you'll see that the power, the divine power of the Mother, the divine power of life, will actually make an incurable condition curable. You'll see that paralyzed people, when they have enough from the Mother and enough life power, they come back from atrophy, they come back from paralysis. In the next segment, I'll tell you more.
For great savings and great service, call Lovely Travel 905-458-5300.
After serving you for nearly 10 years at our Rutherford Road location, King Tandoori is pleased to announce the opening of their 2 new restaurants in Brampton and Vaughan. Come in and enjoy our wide range of delicious tandoori kebab and tikka dishes, including our specialty tandoori fish and popular chicken kebab, paneer tikka and tandoori shrimp. We also offer catering for all occasions. King Tandoori, 270 Rutherford Road on 107 Kennedy Road in Brampton and 7600 Highway 27 in Vaughan.
ਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਭਾਰ ਘਟਾਉਣ ਲਈ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹੋ ਫਿਰ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਦੇ ਅਮੇਜ਼ਿੰਗ ਐਂਡ ਹੈਲਦੀ weight loss products by ਬਲਬੀਰ ਲਹਿਲ ਖੁਦ ਤੇ ਆਜ਼ਮਾਇਆ 100% ਇਫੈਕਟਿਵ
ਥੈਂਕਸ ਟੂ ਦਿਸ ਨੈਚੁਰਲ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣਾ 100 ਪਾਉਂਡ ਭਾਰ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਘਟਾਇਆ ਆਪਣੇ ਭਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਲੰਬੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਤੋਂ ਮੇਨਟੇਨ ਵੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਨਾਓ ਆਈ ਫੀਲ ਮੋਰ ਫਿਟ ਐਂਡ ਹੈਪੀ
ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੱਧ ਰਹੇ ਭਾਰ ਤੋਂ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨ ਤਾਂ ਮਿਲੋ ਬਲਬੀਰ ਲਹਿਲ ਨੂੰ 4166027479 reshape your body rediscover your life.
Canada's #1 selling Ford dealer is Young Steels Ford Lincoln.
Nobody sells more Fords in Canada than Young Steels Ford Lincoln. We are not satisfied until you are completely satisfied. Home of the MVC. Our customers are always #1.
We are not satisfied until you are.
Young Steels Ford Lincoln, Canada's largest volume Ford dealer.
Buy your next Ford from Canada's #1 Ford dealer, Young Steels Ford Lincoln.
I mentioned in the first segment that you will be witnessing people that will be healed on the show. The miracle part of it is the intervention of the divine power, but the way the healing that I will demonstrate happens, other than having the help of a multidisciplinary team, it also is a gradual process. This is not the type of healing where I could tap somebody on the head and they jump up out of the wheelchair and they start walking instantly. If anybody can do that, I'm happy for them. I cannot. What I can do is to work day after day for decent amount of time, which is not long, but it's not instant, and have results every day, every day, every day, every week. It is a gradual process. The way the baby takes 9 months in the mother's body, in the mother's womb, to develop every capacity and every tissue, the same way the healing with the mother happens at the pace of life. If you look at the pace of life as a miracle of life, yes, this will be miraculous healing, but it will be also accompanied by the divine science that is conversant with the scholastic science, where scientists can actually understand the method that is involved, where the divine power of helping the process of healing and the process of life is working hand in hand with what you also know from the medical school. There is no disagreement between the divine knowledge of how the body works and the scientific knowledge of how the body works. There's divine science and there is scholastic science. When you put them together, you get academic science, a higher level of development of science that can look at all dimensions, that doesn't have to reduce everything to the observation of every detail that cannot be observed at this time, but looks at the evidence that comes with the results. So I can actually apply the scientific method to a program of cure from spinal cord injury, while actually the healing power is the divine power. But the steps follow the steps of tissue regeneration, the steps of reconnection of brain to the limbs, the steps of reconnection of the life process, increase of life and vitality throughout the body, which helps the whole healing process. So whoever would love to participate to such a program, please get in touch with me, and will bring encouragement and higher knowledge to the whole world. And please do not expect me to cure you in the first 5 minutes, because I don't do that. But that you'll be able to walk in, let's say, 5 months from the beginning of the treatment, rather than be for the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years and more in bed with paralysis or in a wheelchair with paralysis. Yeah, 5 months is decent compared to 5 years, but it's not 5 seconds, it's not 5 minutes. And this is where there was discount of the divine presence. Is like, well, if you had any power, you just cure me in 5 minutes. And I say, well, I'm not bragging about power, I'm just talking about assisting with the life process, enhancing, teaching you, helping you, and yes, into an environment of healing power that comes from connection with the power that's the life-giving power. So in that kind of process, if you do that with anything that you deal with in life, or you look at the process of life that has its own step-by-step requirements, then you regain your step-by-step walking, or you regain your eyesight, or you regain whatever senses you need to regain. The healing must happen for many reasons. First of all, you want to function better, you want to be able to do the things that you used to do before you acquired through accident or through illness, a difficult condition. But the healing is important for your divine being as well. It's important for your connection to paradise on earth. Not only through your happiness. Of course you are happy when you can run and dance, and you can find your happiness when you are deprived of some of that motion. But your connection to the paradise dimensions has to face a gate of ability. This ability keeps you in the kingdom session. In the kingdom of God on earth, there'll be healing. The blind shall see and the lame shall walk. In the kingdom, the healing occurs, and then one can transition to the paradise dimensions. The paradise dimensions interact with the people who have their abilities. The wholeness, the promise in many religions, but it's expressed in Christianity, it is expressed very clearly, thou shalt be made whole. Well, I'm adding to that the concept of holy and whole. The ideal development of one human on earth for their own fulfillment in life, as well as for their divine evolution and for their evolution beyond the current life. The ideal development is holy and whole. And you'll see that actually holy is God responsive. meaning do what God says is good for you, and it's good for you, and you'll be holy. It doesn't mean that you'll not dance, but it means that while you dance, most of the times you'll keep in mind what is grace and decency. It doesn't mean that you'll not have relationships. It just means that you'll be honest in your relationships and that you'll be godly in your relationships, meaning kind, devoted. You'll develop in relationships your nicer qualities. The explanations about what is holy will come at some point to maybe more on the other show, but also because it has to do with healing. The holy power is the power that would help with healing. But being holy and whole means that everything works. And all of your behavior and all of your abilities are used in a way that is in harmony with humanity, with divinity, and in harmony with what God says would be your wholeness. So you'll understand more things about your body, your mind from that perspective. I will have guests on the show, and in the next segment I will tell you more about the kind of guests that will be invited on the show and what is the purpose of this particular show called Paradise Now, Healing with the Mother.
For great savings and great service, call Lovely Travel 905-458-5300.
After serving you for nearly 10 years at our Rutherford Road location, King Tandoori is pleased to announce the opening of their 2 new restaurants in Brampton and Vaughan. Come in and enjoy our wide range of delicious tandoori kebab and tikka dishes, including our specialty tandoori fish and popular chicken kebab, paneer tikka, and tandoori shrimp. We also offer catering for all occasions. King Tandoori, 270 Rutherford Road on 107 Kennedy Road in Brampton and 7600 Highway 27 in Vaughan.
ਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਪਾਰਕ ਟੋਲ ਲਈ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹੋ ਫਿਰ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਦੇ ਅਮੇਜ਼ਿੰਗ ਐਂਡ ਹੈਲਦੀ weight loss products by ਬਲਬੀਰ ਲਹਿਲ ਖੁਦ ਤੇ ਆਜ਼ਮਾਇਆ 100% ਇਫੈਕਟਿਵ
ਥੈਂਕਸ ਟੂ ਦਿਸ ਨੈਚੁਰਲ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣਾ 100 ਪਾਉਂਡ ਭਾਰ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਘਟਾਇਆ ਆਪਣੇ ਭਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਲੰਬੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਤੋਂ ਮੇਨਟੇਨ ਵੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਨਾਓ ਆਈ ਫੀਲ ਮੋਰ ਫਿਟ ਐਂਡ ਹੈਪੀ
ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੱਧ ਰਹੇ ਭਾਰ ਤੋਂ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨ ਤਾਂ ਮਿਲੋ ਬਲਬੀਰ ਲਹਿਲ ਨੂੰ 4166027479 Reshape your body, rediscover your life.
Canada's #1 selling Ford dealer is Young Steels Ford Lincoln.
Nobody sells more Fords in Canada than Young Steels Ford Lincoln. We are not satisfied until you are completely satisfied. Home of the MVC. Our customers are always #1.
We are not satisfied until you are.
Young Steels Ford Lincoln, Canada's largest volume Ford dealer.
Buy your next Ford from Canada's #1 Ford dealer, Young Steels Ford Lincoln.
First of all, directly about the show, about the personal healing that seems to be closer to everybody's heart, which is totally understandable when it hurts, that gets attention. And the divine is coming now with solutions for the hurt, with restoring functionality. Not only for the personal comfort and fulfillment and capacity to function of every individual, but also for the kingdom of God on earth, and for the advancement of people from kingdom to paradise. Paradise being a dimension here on earth where people start to develop through their human qualities in ways that they start to develop divine qualities, which puts them in touch with the divine, which prepares their further evolution. Paradise is very important. It's not just a place where life is longer, people are healthier, things go better, there's justice and peace and balance and a universal perspective that is all around benefic and divine and godly. That is wonderful in itself. But paradise is vital for existence, and it is a stage in human evolution. It is what makes everything else better. But paradise does not just happen on its own. Paradise is the result of all the good things that have developed in people throughout the more difficult times, or the most difficult times, when people wished for things to be just, to be peaceful, to be healthy, to be honest, for families to be balanced and stable, for solutions for problems to be decent and good and real and natural and divine, and everything that people wished for led them to paradise. And understanding that would actually improve everything else, from the emotional development to the divine development of your whole being, of your Holy Spirit, and your connection with the Holy Spirit, which is actually the Mother, would actually enhance the development of your qualities. You develop your Holy Spirit in the kingdom before you can come to paradise. So there are some stages, and for that, you have to treasure your body regardless of the size, the tone, regardless of what condition you are physically. It can all be resolved if you are receptive to what is good for you. And society is right now learning a lot about what is better for longer, better life. And you'll see now that there are studies in nutrition, studies in exercise, cosmetic, alternative healing methods, scientific healing methods, the traditional medical approaches, vital and life-saving. So, saving when there is an accident, you can bring all the healing power to keep that person breathing, but it will also take the paramedics and the medics to step in and use what they have to help that person survive, and put the pieces back together, to put them back to, until they go back to being holy and whole, or until they go to be holy, so that they don't drink themselves into an accident or into producing an accident to others. So you'll see that all that is required is the cooperation between the different disciplines, and you'll see that happening here on the show. I will have guests of different specialties, and I'll tell you about that more in the next segment.
For great savings and great service, call Lovely Travel 905-458-5300.
After serving you for nearly 10 years at our Rutherford Road location, King Tandoori is pleased to announce the opening of their 2 new restaurants in Brampton and Vaughan. Come in and enjoy our wide range of delicious tandoori kebab and tikka dishes, including our specialty tandoori fish and popular chicken kebab, paneer tikka, and tandoori shrimp. We also offer catering for all occasions. King Tandoori, 270 Rutherford Road on 107 Kennedy Road in Brampton and 7600 Highway 27 in Vaughan.
ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਪਾਰਕ ਟੌਲ ਲਈ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹੋ ਫਿਰ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਦੇ ਅਮੇਜ਼ਿੰਗ ਐਂਡ ਹੈਲਦੀ weight loss products by ਬਲਬੀਰ ਲਹਿਲ ਖੁਦ ਤੇ ਆਜ਼ਮਾਇਆ 100% ਇਫੈਕਟਿਵ
ਥੈਂਕਸ ਟੂ ਦਿਸ ਨੈਚੁਰਲ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣਾ 100 ਪਾਉਂਡ ਭਾਰ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਘਟਾਇਆ ਆਪਣੇ ਭਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਲੰਬੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਤੋਂ ਮੇਨਟੇਨ ਵੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਨਾਓ ਆਈ ਫੀਲ ਮੋਰ ਫਿਟ ਐਂਡ ਹੈਪੀ
ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੱਧ ਰਹੇ ਭਾਰ ਤੋਂ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨ ਤਾਂ ਮਿਲੋ ਬਲਬੀਰ ਲਹਿਲ ਨੂੰ 4166027479 Reshape your body, rediscover your life.
Canada's #1 selling Ford dealer is Young Steels Ford Lincoln.
Nobody sells more Fords in Canada than Young Steels Ford Lincoln. We are not satisfied until you are completely satisfied. Home of the MVC. Our customers are always #1.
We are not satisfied until you are.
Young Steels Ford Lincoln, Canada's largest volume Ford dealer.
Buy your next Ford from Canada's #1 Ford dealer, Young Steels Ford Lincoln.
Yes, so welcome again to the joy of being here on Joy TV and talking with you and to you about healing and about what you can expect from this show that's called Paradise Now, Healing with the Mother. I will have a list of incurable conditions and I will announce it to you. Incurable conditions that will be talked about and addressed throughout the shows to come. I will also have a list of fundamental principles for healing that I'm aware of, particularly divine healing that has not been touched on, discussed to a point where people know the difference between spiritual healing and divine healing, for instance, spiritual health and divine health. The soul level is one aspect, the spirit level is another aspect, and the divine level is another aspect. That's why we have different words because different concepts, because they are describing different realities, and those realities are part of us, are part of how things work individually and in the world. So you'll have to understand a little bit more about the fundamental principles for divine healing, and that would prepare you more, to prepare your insight, your divine connection, to keep you stronger, more encouraged, and find out that there are solutions for the difficult conditions. Now, when it comes to the list of incurable conditions, I will look into the statistics and the scientific and the divine evidence, the social evidence of the results for healing. Apparently, a well-developed multidisciplinary team may be able to produce better results for most people. Of course, different people and different healers or different doctors would obtain results in what works best for them and for the respective situation. And unfortunately for the budget, we will have to free the healing from the financial limitations. Clinics have to be maintained, personnel has to be paid, doctors have to be paid. So these are legitimate expenses with everything that's involved there. That being said, we'll have to understand how can we lead the healing field without limiting people from having access to healing. Everybody on earth has the right and the obligation to be healed, including doctors. Once they are healed, it is much better for everybody. It's a personal responsibility to keep yourself in a good condition so that others don't suffer unnecessarily. And then again, we'll step in for each other when we need each other's help, but we have to keep a healing mentality rather than I would be healed if money was not a problem, is let's make money a solution. Let's make money a tool, not a controlling factor. Let's make money work for us, not against our right to be healed. So all that being said, I will invite people who will talk about the different conditions. MS, they say, is incurable. Let's see what are the results in the world. How many clinics, how many doctors, how many alternative healing providers have something different about MS, and have somebody, even if it's one person, that's a sign, have one person that got better or got well or recovered completely. Let's find out about that. In all the conditions that are considered incurable, I want to have specialists from other places on earth and from Canada, of course, and the evidence that will show you that we are actually ahead in terms of developing the healing capacity and the healing possibilities.
For great savings and great service, call Lovely Travel 905-458-5300.
After serving you for nearly 10 years at our Rutherford Road location, King Tandoori is pleased to announce the opening of their 2 new restaurants in Brampton and Vaughan. Come in and enjoy our wide range of delicious tandoori kebab and tikka dishes, including our specialty tandoori fish and popular chicken kebab, paneer tikka and tandoori shrimp. We also offer catering for all occasions. King Tandoori, 270 Rutherford Road on 107 Kennedy Road in Brampton and 7600 Highway 27 in Vaughan.
ਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਪਾਰਕ ਟੋਲ ਲਈ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹੋ ਫਿਰ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਦੇ ਅਮੇਜ਼ਿੰਗ ਐਂਡ ਹੈਲਦੀ weight loss products by ਬਲਬੀਰ ਲਹਿਲ ਖੁਦ ਤੇ ਆਜ਼ਮਾਇਆ 100% ਇਫੈਕਟਿਵ
ਥੈਂਕਸ ਟੂ ਦਿਸ ਨੈਚੁਰਲ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣਾ 100 ਪਾਉਂਡ ਭਾਰ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਘਟਾਇਆ ਆਪਣੇ ਭਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਲੰਬੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਤੋਂ ਮੇਨਟੇਨ ਵੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਨਾਓ ਆਈ ਫੀਲ ਮੋਰ ਫਿਟ ਐਂਡ ਹੈਪੀ
ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੱਧ ਰਹੇ ਭਾਰ ਤੋਂ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨ ਤਾਂ ਮਿਲੋ ਬਲਬੀਰ ਲਹਿਲ ਨੂੰ 4166027479 reshape your body rediscover your life.
Canada's #1 selling Ford dealer is Young Steels Ford Lincoln.
Nobody sells more Fords in Canada than Young Steels Ford Lincoln. We are not satisfied until you are completely satisfied. Home of the MVC. Our customers are always #1.
We are not satisfied until you are.
Young Steels Ford Lincoln, Canada's largest volume Ford dealer.
Buy your next Ford from Canada's #1 Ford dealer, Young Steels Ford Lincoln.
So the individual healing with the mother will be demonstrated with actual healing, will be made known by bringing the specialists that are aware of the positives that they've encountered in their practice. If it is a nutritionist, if it is a chiropractor, if it is chiropractic doctor, if it is a surgeon, anybody who has results that bring encouragement, that bring a solution further, will be invited to be part of this show. So demonstration, information, education, so that you would move beyond the fear and the limitation that you have a condition that has no solution. You have a condition that has no solution, yet somewhere somebody may have a solution. And that mentality will keep you open to have the strength and the positivity to handle your situation better without illusion. Without hope is not illusion. Hope is based on the fact that the body has resources, the divine has resources, society has, healers have resources, doctors have resources. Something could be done. something that was incurable yesterday may be curable today. And you have to know that. You have to have enough examples. So when you get a real tough diagnosis, and that really is a big problem for your hope, and you risk to be thrown in despair, you have to have enough foundation to say, well, maybe it's not that bad. Yeah, it's a tough thing. I hope and pray that somewhere there is a solution and that I will be connected with that. So this is one thing that is very important to achieve on this show. And this is obviously a mother's heart, because a mother would want a solution, would say, no, I cannot take no for an answer. Something must work, something must be done, something must be better than it appears. And you know how mothers struggle when it comes to healing, that a mother's touch will make a difference. As mom will touch and it will be better. The mom will kiss the place where it hurts, and the child will say, oh, I'm all better. And that happens from childhood to the old mom that touches with gentleness the adult child and hoping for healing. We want to bring joy to the hearts of the moms that may be old, and they need to encourage their adult children that go through tough times. It's very, very hard for a mom in her 80s to see her son in 50s or 40s or or 60s having a very serious problem that's considered hopeless. It's so much better to know that somehow between what people can and about what God can, what the body can, somehow something will work out. Also, it is very good for the adults, young adults or more mature adults, when they have their children or their parents going through tough times when they need healing. It's so good for them to know that there is hope, and they have to be realistic about that, not go into illusion which is false. They should not even have called that false hope, because there is no false hope. Hope has a foundation, and is something that gives us power to go to the next and to the next and to the next. Now, in the next, finding so important, so heartfelt to think of all ages and all needs, to experience the joy of healing and the joy of trusting and the joy of knowing that somebody cares, that somebody can do something about it, and the joy of knowing the joy would help the life power. I will tell you another aspect in the next segment.
For great savings and great service, call Lovely Travel 905-458-5300.
After serving you for nearly 10 years at our Rutherford Road location, King Tandoori is pleased to announce the opening of their 2 new restaurants in Brampton and Vaughan. Come in and enjoy our wide range of delicious tandoori kebab and tikka dishes, including our specialty tandoori fish and popular chicken kebab, paneer tikka and tandoori shrimp. We also offer catering for all occasions. King Tandoori, 270 Rutherford Road on 107 Kennedy Road in Brampton and 7600 Highway 27 in Vaughan.
ਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਪਾਰਕ ਟੋਲ ਲਈ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹੋ ਫਿਰ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਦੇ ਅਮੇਜ਼ਿੰਗ ਐਂਡ ਹੈਲਦੀ weight loss products by ਬਲਬੀਰ ਲਹਿਲ ਖੁਦ ਤੇ ਆਜ਼ਮਾਇਆ 100% ਇਫੈਕਟਿਵ
ਥੈਂਕਸ ਟੂ ਦਿਸ ਨੈਚੁਰਲ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣਾ 100 ਪਾਉਂਡ ਭਾਰ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਘਟਾਇਆ ਆਪਣੇ ਭਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਲੰਬੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਤੋਂ ਮੇਨਟੇਨ ਵੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਨਾਓ ਆਈ ਫੀਲ ਮੋਰ ਫਿਟ ਐਂਡ ਹੈਪੀ
ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੱਧ ਰਹੇ ਭਾਰ ਤੋਂ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨ ਤਾਂ ਮਿਲੋ ਬਲਬੀਰ ਲਹਿਲ ਨੂੰ 4166027479 ਰੀਸ਼ੇਪ ਯੋਰ ਬਾਡੀ ਰੀਡਿਸਕਵਰ ਯੋਰ ਲਾਈਫ
Canada's #1 selling Ford dealer is Young Steels Ford Lincoln.
Nobody sells more Fords in Canada than Young Steels Ford Lincoln. We are not satisfied until you are completely satisfied. Home of the MVC. Our customers are always #1.
We are not satisfied until you are.
Young Steels Ford Lincoln, Canada's largest volume Ford dealer.
Buy your next Ford from Canada's #1 Ford dealer, Young Steels Ford Lincoln.
Well, a joy to be here with you again. Welcome back. We're talking about healing with the mother. And I was mentioning that other than the individual healing, there's a larger context for healing. The medical profession itself needs an aspect of healing. The alternative methods need an aspect of healing, rather than being dissociated where they would work in their own box, ignoring or critiquing the other. They could actually harmonize and have the multidisciplinary, bring the wholeness of healing. The whole healing field needs all kinds. So the healing professions can actually be healed from the exclusive, the looking down on others who have a different approach, rather than looking to, let's see, if they have something good, how do they do it? I cured somebody many years ago who was wearing hearing aids, and she didn't need hearing aids after that. It was a wonderful lady who also felt younger. There's a lot of healing that happened after her hearing was restored. And she went to her physician, to her specialist in hearing, and she asked for an audiogram. We had the original audiogram that had been taken in March, and now by August she's going to the same doctor, says, I have some great results with my hearing. I had some alternative treatment and I'm so happy with that. I would like to see an audiogram. And the doctor looked at her and said, but you've just been here in March. And she said, yes, but since then I had the treatment and I can hear differently. And she had objective standards for hearing, like she could hear the microwave beep, she could hear the birds sing, which she couldn't before. She actually got a huge range of high notes hearing back. And it was a combination of divine healing with emotional healing, with psychological healing, because her hearing got inhibited when, as a child, she would hear the screams of her mom who was being beaten up by her dad. So there is a traumatic event where the child was covering her ears and didn't want to hear. So for her whole life, she could hear the men's voices because she was paying attention, because the audio clues would tell her, is dad in a good mood? Is dad okay to say hello to and to keep him peaceful? But then when it came to the women's high-pitched voices, that for her meant that it's danger. Mom is screaming. So she could talk with a woman who had a high-pitched voice and shouldn't hear it, because that in the child inside was imprinted as traumatic. So working with all of that, I did have the background in working psychotherapy and so on. Working with all of that actually opened connections, and the person could hear. And what do you think the physician said, refusing initially to give her an audiogram? He said, I bet my house that there's no change. That was very upsetting for the patient. She came to me and she said, he refused, he said that he bets his house, and I said, you know what, if we were to go for a second opinion, he would lose his house, because another doctor could find an audiogram that's very different in August compared to that one in March. We are not there to get doctors to lose their houses because they were very firm on the idea that things don't change. But I mentioned this story to let you know that sometimes change does occur. A better angle, a different angle can bring a healing that didn't happen a lifetime. And then we need the support of physicians. We need the healing of physicians who say, that's interesting, how did that work? Okay, I'll note that to encourage patients that may be in the same situation. In the next segment, which is the last segment of today's show, I will mention a larger picture.
For great savings and great service, call Lovely Travel 905-458-5300.
Canada's #1 selling Ford dealer is Young Steels Ford Lincoln.
Nobody sells more Fords in Canada than Young Steels Ford Lincoln. We are not satisfied until you are completely satisfied. Home of the MVC. Our customers are always #1.
We are not satisfied until you are.
Young Steels Ford Lincoln, Canada's largest volume Ford dealer.
Buy your next Ford from Canada's #1 Ford dealer, Young Steels Ford Lincoln.
ਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਪਾਰਕ ਟੌਲ ਲਈ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹੋ ਫਿਰ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਦੇ ਅਮੇਜ਼ਿੰਗ ਐਂਡ ਹੈਲਦੀ weight loss products by ਬਲਬੀਰ ਲਹਿਲ ਖੁਦ ਤੇ ਆਜ਼ਮਾਇਆ 100% ਇਫੈਕਟਿਵ
ਥੈਂਕਸ ਟੂ ਦਿਸ ਨੈਚੁਰਲ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣਾ 100 ਪਾਉਂਡ ਭਾਰ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਘਟਾਇਆ ਆਪਣੇ ਭਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਲੰਬੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਤੋਂ ਮੇਨਟੇਨ ਵੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਨਾਓ ਆਈ ਫੀਲ ਮੋਰ ਫਿਟ ਐਂਡ ਹੈਪੀ
ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੱਧ ਰਹੇ ਭਾਰ ਤੋਂ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨ ਤਾਂ ਮਿਲੋ ਬਲਬੀਰ ਲਹਿਲ ਨੂੰ 4166027479 reshape your body rediscover your life.
Canada's #1 selling Ford dealer is Young Steels Ford Lincoln.
Nobody sells more Fords in Canada than Young Steels Ford Lincoln. We are not satisfied until you are completely satisfied. Home of the MVC. Our customers are always #1.
We are not satisfied until you are.
Young Steels Ford Lincoln, Canada's largest volume Ford dealer.
Buy your next Ford from Canada's #1 Ford dealer, Young Steels Ford Lincoln.
A joy to be at the last segment of today's show, saying see you next week, and we'll continue to look into healing issues. What I wanted to mention in the conclusion of today's show is that there is an individual healing scene, and there is a larger picture. The family picture. There are aspects of family healing. There are aspects of the family participation in blocking the healing or in helping the healing. Unwillingly, a family member can block somebody else's healing, and I've seen that too. It's sad and led to sadness that could have been avoided, but those are things that people have to understand. Then is the professional field where more communication will make it more comfortable for people to be open and to share results and to help each other with more encouragement and more realistic possibilities for healing. And then there is the larger pictures of the planetary healing. the larger, see, lungs would be in much better condition with pollution being kept under control. So keeping the air in good condition is part of the individual healing and the individual potential for longer life, not only for the one who inhales the poison or the fresh air, but for the one who makes millions of dollars allowing the poison, because he may live in an air-conditioned home, he may not breathe the same amount of polluted air, but he is polluted with other factors that would affect his life. If he doesn't care, if he cares about the money and about the factory more than about the people who would be affected, he will be accountable, divinely speaking. But he doesn't have to wait for a judgment day. All he has to do is to see what's happening with him inside, because in a system that is godly, which is where we're at this time, that's the transformation that we go through. Those who wrong others wrong themselves. There'll be something inside, not just that, oh, they're not very nice. There'll be something that will not work very well. It's always been the case. They just didn't realize where it's from, or some realized it and they didn't want to change that. But the way society is changing is that the healing of the planet, the healing of society will make the individual healing better and life more enjoyable. I'm all for joy.